Most law firm owners want more leads, but few understand the breakthrough comes from knowing who's running the marketing behind those leads. As you're trying to grow your law firm and execute the vision, obviously marketing plays a huge role in that. And if you haven't already learned how we view marketing, which is the convergence of advertising and sales, recommend you go watch that video to better understand what that looks like. As you're getting ready to do this, here's what I could tell you from personal experience. We've gone through lots of iterations and evolutions of this. We started by working with a marketing vendor, and that's where most law firms sit. Honestly, for the most part, in the entirety of their law firm, the idea of building a marketing team doesn't necessarily come naturally for a lot of law firms. And so most law firms, maybe yourself, is working with a marketing vendor right now. But in order for you to continue to scale and grow your firm, a vendor only has so many hours in a month that they can dedicate to any one firm. As you're scaling up, you outgrow the amount of hours and capacity that any one marketing vendor can give you. Let me tell you from personal experience, we've tried this. We ended up frustrated the whole time because we would try to grow and hit a roadblock and halt because we were at the mercy of that particular vendor and the amount of capacity they could give. That's when we started having internal conversations about building our own in-house marketing team. After doing it and now running an in-house marketing team here with our company, not only was it a great decision for us and pushed a lot of innovation ideas and results forward, but I want to walk you through what it looks like speaking from a practical perspective. This isn't just theory. This is stuff we do every single day, and that's going to help propel your law firm's marketing team forward. I want to start with law firm owner levels because each law firm owner listening to this or watching this right now might be at a different level. So we view level 1, which is the attorney level. We have a quiz on that. We could throw that somewhere in the description. But level 1 law firm owner is the attorney. If this is you, when it comes to finding your first hire for a marketing team, you're not going to be hiring for a full-blown marketing team yet. A level 1 attorney is going to want to look for what we call a CIO or a chief inspection officer. Chief inspection officer is not going to sit squarely in the marketing role, meaning that one person is not dedicated to just marketing. A chief inspection officer is there to be the checks and balances in just about every department. They're probably helping you pull data. This person's acting more as an assistant to you as a law firm owner across the firm, and marketing data is one of the places they're spending their time, but not the only place they're spending their time. So that would be the first person I would be looking for if I was a level 1 law firm owner, which, to be clear, what we define as level 1 of a revenue range is that 0 to 750, 800 grand a year range. As you start to scale up into level 2 law firm owner, which we view as more of that 750, 800 to about 3 million range, this is where you can start to look for a more dedicated person to marketing, or what we would consider a marketing assistant. This person would sit squarely in the marketing role. Their job would be gathering and interpreting marketing data to understand it and make sure they're prescribing some solutions, communicating with all of your marketing vendors, because at a level 2 law firm, you're likely still working with vendors for your ads, Google LSAs, or SEO. You need the marketing assistant to manage communication with those marketing vendors. They might even be able to deploy some marketing campaigns internally or manage some of your organic stuff. If you're doing organic social media, if you're doing podcast work, YouTube video posting, that marketing assistant could help be more of a community manager and manage some of the socials as well. And as you're scaling up out of that level 2, this is where you start to hit that point where trying to scale becomes very difficult with a vendor. You've likely got more ideas, more budget, more movement happening from a marketing perspective. And this is where you need to look to scale up your marketing team. If you're in one of those positions and you'd like to learn how to start to build up the team, even just outside of this video, you could head to thelawfirmsecret.com. We'd love to show you a path on how to actually do this from a practical perspective after doing it ourselves and with other law firms. But if you're on your way up to level 3, this is where you're going to start to build your in-house marketing team. Now, I get the question a lot, does that mean I just instantly go out and hire everybody for my in-house marketing team? No, that's not what you do. The objective is to find what the most high impact areas of your marketing need are and start to hire there. For instance, if you're running a lot of Facebook advertising, you might want to look into roles like a copywriter for a first hire because of all the ad copy, the scripting, the landing pages, the scheduling pages if you're driving to self-schedule and having a copywriter come on. Or you might want to look into a media buyer that's going to manage the actual distribution of your ads on Facebook or Meta, however you want to refer to it nowadays. And that would be one of your first hires. As you're building this team up, what you're going to recognize is you're going to start to have people rise up that demonstrate that they're really good at certain things. And so as you continue to build out your team, what's going to end up happening is you're going to need a layer of management between you and all the other team members. And so this is where you're going to have the 3 pillars of marketing, right? And I should say advertising in this sense. You're going to have internal advertising, which is to your clients. If you're marketing a PI add-on or marketing another practice area internally, you're going to have paid, and that's going to be all of the paid efforts you're doing, Google LSA, Facebook, Google pay-per-click, anything you're doing from a paid perspective. And then you're going to have organic. These are going to become your 3 pillars in the marketing team. And I say marketing team because all of these combine both advertising and sales. You're going to need to find what we call a process leader for each of those departments. So you're going to have your internal marketing, and that's going to need its own process leader. You're going to have a paid, and that's going to need its own process leader. You're going to have an organic, and that's going to have its own process leader. By the way, it's very possible in the beginning, all of the lines get blurred. So one person may play a lot of these individual roles in the start. But as you start to scale and as you have leaders rise up on your team, you're going to be able to start to identify who would excel best in each department. All of these people then are going to rise up, and we call it planning in retro. You're going to review your data from any given sprint period and figure out, did you hit the goal? If not, why? Then you're going to plan what's next. And all of this rises up. You need to develop your North Star metric. What is your goal? Because as your marketing team comes on, not only do you need to be clear about what your goal is from a growth perspective for your law firm, but your marketing team needs to be crystal clear. They need to know a more specific goal. And you heard me harp on this in the last video, is they need to know that cost per appointment set goal. Your marketing team needs to know what that means. That's the North Star metric. That will help the team as a whole identify how well are the advertising campaigns running, how well is the sales team performing, to be able to determine how well as a marketing department are we running as a whole. The concept of building a marketing team is a big one. And it's not going to be fully covered in one single video. But if you would like to better understand how to start to build out a marketing team for your law firm, we'd love to spend 10 minutes with you talking about how we might be able to do that. And you can head to thelawfirmsecret.com. We'd love to chat more about how to implement this.